Are you willing to explore AWS IoT with ESP32? If your answer is yes, then you are watching the right video. Hello everyone, my name is Hariharnath. Welcome to IoT Frontier, where I share with you the latest and greatest in IoT technology. In this video, I'll show you how to connect ESP32 to AWS IoT Core. But do you have an ESP32 board with you? If not, don't worry, I have you covered. In this video, we'll be using the Wokwi simulator to simulate ESP32 without the real hardware and connect to AWS IoT Core to send the temperature and humidity values from DHT22 sensor as per the flow diagram. So stay tuned until the end of this video to get all the steps right. Before we dive into the content, please provide your support by hitting the subscribe button and by liking this video. Let's get started. So first we'll navigate to wokwi.com and inside this we'll click on ESP32. So if you scroll down, you'll be having the starter template ESP32. So you can click on that and you'll be given the ESP32 board. And you need to add a part that is DHT22. So here we have 4 pins for it. One is no connection, another remaining 3 we need to connect. The first one is VCC. So I'll connect it to the 3 volts. And the next one is SDA. So that I'll connect it to 15. So we can zoom in and I'll just connect the ground to the ground pin here. So don't worry about the tidiness of this code and the connections because I have already created a code for you. So I'll just switch over my screen. So here is the screen where the same connections with a more tidy and the code are also being written here. So first I'll try to explain you what we have written in the code. First we need to include some of the libraries needed such as Wi-Fi, PubSub and also the Arduino JSON, etc. So those things we need to add here in the library manager by clicking on plus button and typing and searching for this whatever are in the screen. So PubSub is for MQTT, Arduino JSON is to convert the values into JSON, and here we have to read the data from the DHT sensor, we have this library. And we have used a 15 GPIO pin, that's why we have provided DHT pin. And the important thing we need to know is the publish and subscribe topic. So whenever you are publishing from ESP32 to AWS IoT, in which topic you are publishing. So I have provided IoT Frontier /pub, and you want to subscribe to the topic which is being published from AWS to the ESP32, that is this topic. And remaining code, here you can see the AWS connection code where you will be setting the certificates and servers. All these values are available in secret.h. I'll show you. And once that is done, you will be also have a code that is to publish the message, and under the setup you will be using this, calling this connect AWS and also setting up the DHT sensor, and under the loop you will be reading the data from DHT sensor and publishing the message to the server, that is AWS, and we are using delay of 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds the data will be pushed. So once this is done, we need to set up this secrets.h. So the secret.h will be filled whenever we create the things in our AWS IoT. So now I'll head on to AWS console. So here I'll try to log in. To perform this tutorial, you need AWS account. If you don't have AWS account, don't worry. Click on the top right corner where you can watch my previous video on how to create free AWS account. And to create free AWS account, you need credit card. And if you don't have credit card, then don't worry, you have another video that is AWS Educate account that can be created. So you can click on the top right corner to watch that now. Now let's get started here. So first you need to search for IoT Core. So go to IoT Core and here we'll be having things. So you need to create So under the all devices, you'll be having things. I have already created one thing. So I'll try to create one more thing. So I'll try to create a single thing and click on next. And the thing name, I'll put IoT Frontier Thing. And remaining things, all the thing type, these are optional. You can leave it and click on next. And here you can select auto generate a new certificate, which is recommended. So once this is done, what you need to do is you need to create a policy. So click on create policy. So you'll be having a new tag here. So you need to provide name. So I can provide the IoT Frontier Thing policy as a name. And here what you need to allow. So I'll put allow, and here I'll use star and also star here, because there are so many issues that you might face. That's why basically what you need to provide is these are the different policy actions that you can provide, like IoT connect, publish, receive, etc. This you can do whenever you are doing the production level code, but right now we are trying to do the POC and kind of using the demos, right? That's why we can simply use star, so that you will not face any issues with this policy and while publishing the data. So this is very simple. So you can click on create. This policy is created. Now you can go back to the previous tab and you can search for IoT Frontier Thing policy. So you can select that and create Thing. Once you have done that, the important part is to download the certificates. The first one is you need to download the device certificate. And next, you need to download the public key and private key, as well as root CA. So you can download the root CA1, that is it. Once this is done, you will have to open those certificates. So you can click on done. So this is only one-time activity that you can download, and later on they will not be providing you to download them. So please make sure that you have them safe. Once you have clicked on done, you can go back to your file explorer and you can open them in a notepad. So here in my file explorer, I have these are the different certificates. So first one, we need to open this root CA pen in a notepad++. If you don't have notepad++, you can use any notepad. So when you open, it will be giving you certificate. So you need to copy this certificate and now go back to the Wokwi code and secrets.h. So here you need to just replace whatever is there here from begin to end. So next thing it is asking is device certificate. So go back to the device certificate is this one. So it is having the name as certificate. So you can click on that, edit with notepad++. And again copy this. Just replace the existing one, and next one is the device private key. So private key will be mentioned like this, and you can click on edit with notepad. Again you can replace it. So the important part of adding the certificate is done. Next thing is we need to find out the AWS IoT endpoint. So what is the endpoint that we are going to use? So you can go back to settings, and in the settings you can find the endpoint is provided here. So you can copy this endpoint and paste it here. And this Wi-Fi SSID, it should be Wokwi guest, so that you can use their Wi-Fi. And IoT Thing, I need to change it to IoT Frontier Thing that I have created now. So once this is done, we can save the code and we can directly start the simulation. So it will take some time. I'll fast forward this. Now the compilation has been taken care. So there was one issue I found, so that the DSP sensor library for ESPX was not trying to install. So I have again used the DHT sensor library along with this, and the code would be same. And here you can see in the logs that it is trying to connect to Wi-Fi, and it has connected. Now it is trying to connect to AWS IoT. So now you can see the temperature 24 and humidity 40 has been sent. So how can we monitor that in AWS? So we have to go to MQTT test client. And here you should subscribe to the topic that you have mentioned in your code. So you are publishing to this topic. So you have to subscribe to that topic here. Click on subscribe. Now you can see that the temperature values of 55, 60 and humidity 60.5 is being sent. And here when I subscribe to IoT frontier/pub, I am getting the values, and I'll try to change here. So if I change the value to 67 and 80, and within few seconds I should get that here. So we got that 60 got sent and 6780 is sent. So we have received that, and we'll try to publish from here to this topic, that is IoT frontier stuff, so that it will receive in the here. So we have received the incoming message as well from the AWS IoT Cloud to our ESP32 in Wokwi. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. And if you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more IoT videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.